Hi, my name is Diana Wilson. I'm the Chief Communications Officer for Jeffco Public Schools. I'm here to give you our Now Boarding Report, and this is an opportunity to hear a little bit about what our Board of Education is up to last month and this month, and give you an idea of what's happening in our schools. One of the things the board took a look at in March is Great Schools, Thriving Communities, which is a ballot initiative. They learned about it this month, and in April they'll decide whether they want to take a formal position on the ballot initiative. The initiative primarily deals with funding, and it's looking at a new funding structure in the state of Colorado. Another big project the board has been looking at is our strategic plan. In October, our superintendent, Dr. Jason Glass, rolled out Jeffco Generations, which is a vision for our school district. Based on that vision, we came up with a strategic plan that's very comprehensive, covers a number of different areas that all focus essentially on improving the student experience. The board will get regular reports on what the strategic plan addresses, and it will not only tell them what they're addressing, but give some measurable goals, give the status, give the trajectory of when we expect change in these particular areas. March, April, and May are a critical time for the school budget. We're waiting from the state to see how much money they're going to give Jeffco Public Schools, but in the meantime, we have to develop a budget. So the budget really has to be flexible. There's some things that are a given. This is what you have to do. But there are other things, whether that be raises for our staff or investments in facilities or new programs we'd like to invest in, that really have to be prioritized. So the board spent a lot of time learning about these issues, deciding what's the most important, and then depending on what the available funding is, then deciding on the final budget in June. In March, the board spent a significant amount of time with some of our principals from different levels. They specifically talked about learning environments. So trying to see how our classrooms, our buildings, and how students are functioning in those buildings. In April, the board will hear from our Citizen Facility Advisory Committee. Now, this is a committee made up of citizens, obviously, that look at our facilities and determine what needs there are, what improvements should be made, what the priorities are. So the advisory committee does their homework throughout the year and then gives a report to the board, which helps them make decisions on the budget. Another big issue the board will look at in April is Free Horizon Montessori. Now, this is a public charter school in Jeffco Public Schools that's been around for 15 years. However, they're interested in moving into the Pleasant View facility. Pleasant View is an elementary school that, because of declining enrollment, was closed last year. So the building has been sitting vacant, and there's been several community meetings talking about what should we do, where do we want to go with this building. So the board will talk to Free Horizons board and see what kind of agreement they can come to as far as the Pleasant View facility is concerned. One big project that's been proposed to the board is an online enrollment system. Currently, when we have enrollment in January and February, it's all on paper. So if you aren't going to attend your normal neighborhood school, you have to go to the school that you're interested in, fill out a piece of paper, leave it at the school, and then there's a type of lottery system to see if you get in that school or not. It's all on paper, it's slow, it's difficult to use, and not super accessible to parents who work all day or aren't readily available to go to schools during the day. An online enrollment system would create some equity in our system as well as some transparency. If we decided to invest in an online enrollment system, it really would mean every student in Jeffco in January and February would go online and let us know where they plan to go to school in the fall. I'd like to close with our advisory boards. Our Board of Education has a number of advisory boards, everything from Technology Advisory Committee to our Facilities Committee. If you're interested in advising the school board on what direction they should take in some of these areas, you should apply for an advisory committee. The online application is open now through April 23rd. You apply online, all the information's on our website. We also have opportunities to weigh in on our budget as well as safety issues in our school, jeffcopublicschools.org. Great place to get a lot of resources on what's going on in your school district. Thanks.